I watched another one of his videos where basically he said that he's a former alcoholic and then he stopped for years, relapsed a little bit during the beginning of COVID quarantine or
I'll
whatever,
do it.
and then got back off the wagon. But
That's
that's
good.
the only other information I know about this guy because I watched one other of his videos after I watched this.
Hey, nobodies.
Okay.
It's me here once again, here with my co host, Mr. Nobody. The other day, YouTube recommended me two videos that were titled basically, I'm 25 years old and I've never had a girlfriend. Those weren't the exact titles of those videos, but they were more or less the titles of those videos. So I watched these videos and I'm watching the two dudes in the videos. The thing that struck me the most was the fact that both of these dudes looked even more like Jeffrey Dahmer than I do. But the main thing that I thought about when I watched these videos, my main thought was, what a couple of amateurs. I'm 35 years old and I've never had a girlfriend before. Pretty fucked up, huh?
So rookie numbers.
Yeah, that's my new intro. Pretty annoying, isn't it? Anyway, yes, as I said before, I'm 35 years old and I've never had a girlfriend. Which I don't really feel too bad about my situation because, I know there are other guys out there who are older than me who've never had girlfriends. In fact, I know a guy personally who's 63 and he's never had a girlfriend. I mean,
That's
he's gay,
wild.
but he's never had a girlfriend. But anyway, how did this happen? Well, I guess we got to go back to my early teenage years, back when I was in junior high school, about 13 or so. I, like a lot of kids my age, were really getting into girls and, asking girls out and going on dates and stuff. And I noticed that a lot of the other boys in school at the time were having girlfriends and stuff. But here's the problem. This is at any age, really. But if you're a guy and you want to date and you're fat and you're nerdy and you're socially awkward, that's pretty much the kiss of death if you want to have any sort of
It
a
is the
romantic
kiss of
life.
death.
Just one of those alone would be bad enough, but all three at the same time, no. But of course, at the time, I didn't realize this. Me, my fat, nerdy, socially awkward.
I don't understand. How do you not realize that women don't like fat nerds? That's just everybody knows that. That's the default.
Well, I mean, the fat girl nerds will like him. He should have gone for those women.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, if he's 35 and he never had a girlfriend,
It's true.
sounds like maybe he got shot down by those. And I think he kind of touches on a
All
similar
right,
story
all
to
right.
that in here.
13-year-old self asked two girls out. They didn't say no, but they did say worse than no. The first girl said, I just threw up in my mouth, which that was a real self esteem booster. The second girl started crying, told a teacher, and the teacher made me apologize. I had to apologize for asking a girl out. Now, that is a
Like, bro, that's so brutal. That's how you make a guy 35 years old and never have a girlfriend. But you
That
literally punish him for just asking.
that's how you put people on suicide watch at a young age. That's a terrible, terrible thing to make someone do. That's awful. Like that, the girl literally was that ashamed that she literally had to have it talk to a teacher and make him apologize. Like that's awful. That's so
Yeah,
bad.
it- like if you brutally reject somebody who hasn't been like persistent or creeping on you or whatever, like if they just, one time ask you out and you have some brutal response, you're just such a shitty fucking person.
You
I
are.
remember in high school, one of my buddies, he had this massive crush on this girl for the longest time. And on Valentine's Day, he brings in one of the big heart-shaped boxes of chocolate, like the
Hmm.
classic Valentine's one, and a big teddy bear with like a heart on it or whatever. And he gives it to this girl. He goes, and I think it was algebra class or something. He goes up to her and he gives that to her and asks if he could take her out on a date. And she told him, I would never date you in 1,000 years. Like some fucking cartoon bully. She fucking said that to him.
That's brutal. I mean, not gonna lie, I feel like the teddy bear might have been overkill if it was huge because I mean, the one thing I will say is that girls don't like being embarrassed. So like, I mean, even
Oh,
if she
yeah.
liked him, you know what I mean? Like that's the one thing I will say. Like my knowledge, my little knowledge I have in that department. I mean, I would say that that's not a great idea. But still, like you still shouldn't say that. She could have kindly rejected him still.
Yeah, that's the thing. I agree that I would be, I'm not a girl, so it's different, but I would be embarrassed if somebody in front of class or whatever, it gave me that and asked me out. That would be
Yeah.
embarrassing or whatever. But
Yeah, like you
I would like to think I'm not going to try to crush this person's soul for their sin of basically telling me they find me attractive and they would maybe like to hang out one time.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, there's a nice way to do it, and you can still be embarrassed about it without being mean. Like, but like thinking like she probably would have been rude to him no matter what he would have done. So it probably doesn't matter. But maybe she gave a worse reaction because of the overkill. But like that's the only thing I could think of. But I wouldn't be surprised. She was probably just mean.
I think she was just mean. It, it's just wild to me. This is just so like it's a mean girl, full on mean girl behavior. I don't get it, but
It's
Special level
crazy.
of hideousness right there. And when I got a little bit older and got into high school, my situation didn't really improve either because it became a lot more normal for, people my age to have girlfriends and stuff, and it just wasn't happening. Like, even the other ugly, nerdy, unpopular girls weren't into me. For example, there's this one
there you
girl
go.
named Megan who I went to high school with. She was very, very fat. She was as fat as I was. Her and I, we were like the two fattest kids in school. And all the kids in school used to joke that her and I should date just because, I don't know, we're both so fat and people who are ridiculously fat should date, I guess.
Dude, that's just such a high school thing to do. Like, you guys are both fat. You should date.
No, I
You'd
could.
be the
I
fattest
definitely.
couple ever.
I know that like there's been situations like that. Like, why not? Like, you guys are both weird. You guys are both fat. You might as well date. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely what you would expect from high schoolers.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think a bed could support the both of us unless it was made out of titanium or something. So I don't know. But people were joking about me and her dating and whatnot. And one day, she walks up to me. Before I had a chance to say anything, she says, "David, I just want you to know that I find you disgusting and I would never date you." And she walked away. So, yeah, once again, another self esteem booster right there.
Just unprompted. Just because other people
Unprompted.
mention it, she felt the need to go out of her way and shoot him down.
She probably was like, I can't be the biggest loser in the school. I'm gonna make this guy the biggest loser in the school instead.
Yeah, seriously. Like no, before that, they were both tied as the fattest, disgustingest, loserist. But now only one of them has been rejected by the other, so he's down
Hmm.
at the very
He's
bottom.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Brutal.
The fattest and one of the most unpopular girls in school thought I was disgusting. My senior year of high school, my senior year, I decided to go on a big self improvement kick. I lost the weight. I got myself a job at Walmart. From that job at Walmart, I greatly improved my social skills. Things were going good. I even started to date a little bit. The thing is, these dates didn't really go anywhere, which didn't really bother me at the time because it's like, whatever. But I got a little bit older. I got a much better job in my early 20s, which I'm still working at today. I started going on even more dates, and they also went absolutely nowhere. The women who I dated kind of thought of me as just like the funny friend for the most part. But some of the women I dated, they just kind of like thought I was repulsive and they couldn't even stand being around me. They couldn't even see me as like a friend. And I get it, I'm awkward and annoying and stuff. I mean, and
Like
then
that's
also
so sad. Imagine
Y-
saying people are repulsed by me, and I get it. Man, that's sad. They really beat him down as a kid.
They
That's
did.
fucked.
Dude, and the thing is, like, I mean, he's not like the most gorgeous looking guy in the world, but I wouldn't say he's like butt ugly. Like, he's just like an average looking dude. Like, he's just an average looking blue collar dude. That's what he looks like to me.
Yeah, he's very average. If he lost the weight, especially for 35, he'd be doing very well, I would think. He'd be beating most 35-year-olds if he'd lost the weight.
Yep, 100%.
another problem with me is because I don't really have a whole lot of experience doing like physical stuff, like making out and whatnot. So when we started doing stuff like that, like I had no idea what I was doing. It was just really awkward and weird and uncomfortable for the both of us. So these dates just didn't go anywhere, and it was really frustrating. In 2012, I put together a big all expense paid vacation for me and several of my online friends to go to Chicago. I paid for the whole thing, everyone's plane tickets, the hotels, everything. It cost me over $8,000. And the reason why I did this was because I wanted to impress a girl who was one of my online friends. And, I had had a crush on her for a long time. We'd been really close. She was one of those cute, nerdy girls, kind of tomboyish, but I thought she was gorgeous. She was just really funny, had a really sharp sense of humor. I find that really attractive in women to have a sharp sense of humor. And I felt like she got me in a way that nobody else really did because, like me, she was autistic. So I thought we had that, sort of bond there. And I really wanted to, impress her and win her over. So I put together this big trip. I flew 5 people up to Chicago, and I live close to Chicago, so I just took an Amtrak. And the first night of the trip, the girl who I wanted to impress just randomly just pulled me into the bathroom and started making out with me. Like I was not expecting it. She just started making out with me, and I almost lost my virginity that night. But I didn't.
I mean, sounds like everything's coming together, right? Right?
Yeah,
We got the
I was gonna
we got
say.
all the friends. We spent 8 grand. And when I did everybody this solid, this trip's on me. And seems like she appreciated that. Seems like maybe she's into him too.
You would think, but I'm sure
Didn't go
something's
that
about to
far. We were in
happen.
the bathroom of the hotel room, and all our friends were sitting right outside. So I didn't want them to hear. So I just kind of assumed that I would have an opportunity later. So I was like, okay, yeah, we're not doing this right now, but hopefully later. So, but I felt great. I felt amazing. I'm like, oh, I finally got the girl. And I was on cloud 9 for the next day. Yeah, the next day I was feeling pretty great. And then that night, the girl who I wanted to impress had sex with one of the other guys on the trip while I was in the room.
Nice.
$8,000 to hear the girl of my dreams get railed by another guy.
That's
It's
awful,
brutal.
man. He should have jumped on his opportunity, I guess, when he had it. But still, you wouldn't expect that to happen either.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe. Well, yeah, I mean, he did literally say he didn't expect it, but it's like, God damn, that's why you have to be able to close. Like,
You have to be assertive. You have to say something to make her know that you still want that, because maybe she thought that you didn't want that. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, probably if she came on to him like that the first night she was there, and then he, they didn't engage amorously, then she probably thought, oh, he's not that into me. I'll try, one of my other friends because this is a group. They're all friends, so.
Yeah. No, 100%. It was his lack of knowledge that screwed him there for sure.
Fantastic. What happened was a couple years later, when I was about 26, I kind of went through a dark phase where I got really into drinking. I was drinking, getting drunk pretty much every day. I was drinking Caliber vodka, which is like the shittiest, cheapest, bottom shelf vodka you can get. But it's cheap and it gets you drunk fast, so that's why I drink it. So I would drink that every day. I would eat pretty much nothing but junk food. Like my diet was probably 80% pizza, and I'm not exaggerating. I would chain smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and I did this every day for about 5 years. Every day I would get off
Jeez.
work, I would go home, get drunk off the cheap vodka.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're just basically eating nothing but pizza, drinking like crazy, and 2 packs of cigarettes a day is crazy. That's like these guys that you hear of. They're like, everybody knows the guy because he smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day and he's still alive somehow.
Yeah, no, 100%. He probably quit in enough time that maybe it won't completely kill him, but that's insane. I guess I haven't assumed he quit cigarettes, but I'm at least hoping he's not smoking 2 packs a day anymore.
There's no way. There's no way he is. I don't remember, but there's just no way.
Vodka, chain smoke, eat the junk food. And I was just not taking good care of myself. I gained over 150 pounds, and I'm not exaggerating. I had to wear old people diapers to bed because I kept pissing myself. I would go months without bathing. I would go months without brushing my teeth. I got periodontal
Gross.
disease because I took such poor care of my teeth. I was just a mess. I was going into work hungover, and it was just not good. It was just not good. I was not taking care of myself, and I did this. From the age of 26 to 30, I refer to that era as my drinking days. So if you ever hear me
4 years of that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
insane.
bad. Just to not it's one thing to get depressed for a little while, but it sounds like he was just depressed for 4 years and couldn't even take basic care of himself. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, he was having a Nick Rekieta style spiral, basically.
Hmm. No, that's
But he kept
wild.
his job. In the other video where he's talking about how he was an alcoholic, he said that he kept his job the whole time. And I think he even said he never went to work drunk or anything. He always just drank after work and then sometimes went to work hungover.
Yeah, I'm probably a little drunk from the night before some nights, but that happens to everyone every once in a while. Anyone who
Everybody gets
drinks, at
one or two
least.
of those.
Yeah, I would assume, but maybe that's just me.
refer to my drinking days, I'm referring to that era. But anyway, one day when I was 30, I was starting to develop some chest pains. I went to the doctor, and he took my blood pressure and did some other stuff and asked me some questions. And he point blank told me, "Yeah, you're going to be dead by 40 if you don't start making some serious life changes." That was pretty terrifying. And what made it even more terrifying is that two really close online friends of mine around this time had died in their 30s doing the same things I was doing. The first friend of mine who died was extremely
And that's really bad because his friends are doing the same thing. That the people that are around you are doing that. You just like you are the sum of the people that you hang around or whatever. You can't have your life on track if those are the types of friends that you have. So
100%.
that he
Even
was
if it's just
down bad.
yeah, even if it's just online, like it doesn't sound like based off what it sounds like in this video, most of his friends were online, so they probably had the biggest influence on him than anyone else.
Probably, yeah.
overweight, like 600-pound life size. I mean, Dr. Now would have had a field day with this guy. You know, he got really big and it just killed him. You know, he was in his early 30s too. My other friend, also in his 30s, was a massive alcoholic. He ended up dying of liver failure. Yeah, so I took that news from my doctor of me being told point blank that I died at 40. I saw my friends dying. Well, I didn't see them dying, but you know, them dying combined with that news, it really set off the alarms in my head. Ever since then, I've just tried to have a new and positive outlook on life because the thing about life is, yeah, it sucks sometimes and it's annoying and, you know, it can be unfair, but I like life. I figure I'm 35 now. I got another 40 something years, give or take, in front of me.
Life.
Why not just see what happens? So yeah, I mean, I decided, you know, start eating healthier. You know, lost the weight. I quit drinking. I quit smoking, and you know, I just try to focus on doing things that you know, I just enjoy and have fun with, like video games and movies and whatnot. You know, just try to live a better lifestyle, and you know, not worry too much about things that you know, I don't have, and just try to enjoy the things I do have, which I guess some people would probably see as a cope, which, I mean, if it's a cope, it's a cope, whatever. I mean, I would rather cope than, you know, wear old people diapers to bed personally. I'm just going to sit back and let the chips fall where they may, and who knows what will happen. That's pretty much all I got to say in this video. I guess I'll see all you nobodies later.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it
that's
was an interesting video.
no, I did too. I feel for people like that. Like, I mean, I feel like sometimes it's hard for everyone, especially men, to date and get girlfriends. But like, I mean, it's not. You just have to like actually put in the effort too. Like, if you're not putting in any effort, it's not going to happen for you. Like, and maybe now he's trying again, but like, hopefully he might not even be bothered at this point in his life. It seems like he kind of isn't that bothered. Like, I'm sure one day he'd like to, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm impressed by, how not bitter or anything like that. He seems he's perfectly content with how things have played out, even if, maybe it's not what he would have wanted for himself, but
Yeah.
he's at peace with it.
Yeah, so that's my point. He's probably okay with not forcing it, and like, hopefully, he puts himself out there again. Maybe he has been. I mean, obviously, we just know what we saw in the video, but like, I mean, it sounds like he was put on a really bad track to ever have a successful relationship style because of how people were so mean to him as a kid, and then like being huge for a long time didn't help. So maybe now that he's healthy and is the last couple of years now, maybe he'll be able to figure it out.